I stepped into my home studio to find my brother Liam demolishing my $15,000 soundboard with a sledgehammer. My sister Sophie was there, phone in hand, recording the chaos. "This is what happens when you're greedy and refuse to share your success with family," she declared to her camera. Liam turned, sweat pouring, hammer poised. "Maybe now you'll learn to support us." What they didn't realize was that a single call from my phone could ruin their lives. I'm Arya, 34 years old. For 15 years, I've clawed my way from nothing to become a top-tier music producer. I started in a cramped basement with borrowed gear, grinding 80-hour weeks, mastering every facet of audio engineering and production. My home studio isn't a casual setup. It's a $120,000 professional space where I've crafted hit albums for Grammy-winning artists. I collaborate with major labels, and my client list is a who's who of chart-topping stars. Every piece of equipment, every connection, every shred of respect, I earned it through relentless effort. But to my family, I'm just messing around with tech and calling it music. They view my achievements as luck, not labor, and believe our shared blood entitles them to my success. I'm their personal bank, expected to finance their dreams while they belittle my work as a sound nonsense and demand I use my network to make them wealthy and famous. Hit that like button if you've ever had relatives who think your success is theirs to claim. Have you ever poured your heart into something only for family to act like they deserve a piece of it? Was driving home from the greatest recording session of my career. I'd just finished tracks for an artist certain to snag Grammy nods, and my phone buzzed with praise from industry heavyweights. I was on cloud nine, but when I pulled into my driveway, something felt off. My front door was ajar, and loud crashes echoed from my garage studio. I rushed toward the sound and froze at the sight. My brother Liam stood amid the wreckage of my painstakingly acquired equipment, sledgehammer in hand, shards of my custom soundboard scattered like shattered hopes. "Finally back from your little pastime?" Liam sneered, not even glancing up. "We need to talk about spreading the wealth." That's when I spotted Sophie in the corner, phone raised, live streaming the destruction to her audience. "You've been hogging opportunities while we scrape by," Sophie said to her viewers. "Time to give back to those who've always had your back." I lunged to stop Liam from wrecking more gear, but he stepped toward me menacingly. "Don't even try it," he growled. Sophie kept filming, narrating like a warped announcer. "See how selfish she is, guarding her toys instead of helping family?" Liam began rattling off his woes like I owed him fixes. His contracting business had tanked. He had debts piling up. He demanded I bankroll his comeback. Sophie chimed in, insisting I leverage my industry ties to launch her as an influencer. She deserved stardom, she claimed. "You think you're above us because you tinker with computers and call it art." Sophie scoffed, still recording. "We raised you, backed your dreams," Liam added. "Now it's time to repay us." When I reached for my phone to call the cops, Liam shoved me. I crashed into my ruined gear, pain searing through my side. Sophie laughed, still filming. "This is going viral. Entitled sister refuses to aid her struggling family." Liam raised the sledgehammer again. "Here's the deal. $50,000 cash, plus you set Sophie up with label execs. Or I keep swinging until nothing's left." I stared at them, realizing my own siblings had declared war on everything I'd built. Over the next few days, I learned this wasn't a spur-of-the-moment tantrum. They'd planned this attack for weeks. Sophie showed me a spreadsheet detailing my equipment's worth and researching my industry contacts. They'd done their research. Liam handed me typed demands like a corporate ultimatum. $50,000 upfront. Guaranteed. Meetings with label executives for Sophie's music career. Plus, I had to hire his construction crew for a studio expansion I'd never planned. "I've already told my team you're hiring them for a major job," Liam said with a smug smirk. "Don't make me look like a fool." Things escalated when Sophie posted her edited footage online, splicing clips to paint me as a callous sister who'd abandoned her struggling family. Her followers loved it. "Family betrayal at its worst," one comment read. "Imagine being too greedy to help your own siblings." Within hours, Sophie's mob had found my professional social media, flooding my business pages with accusations of being heartless. Potential clients began questioning whether they could trust someone who mistreats family. Liam upped the ante by bringing his construction crew to my house. 5 guys in hard hats showed up, claiming I'd promised them work. "Arya owes us jobs," one said. Liam told us she's got big projects lined up. I realized Liam had been using my name to make false promises. These men expected payment for non-existent work. The final straw came when I got home one evening to find my locks changed. Family intervention. Sophie called through the door. Until you share properly, we're protecting you from your selfish choices. They were holding my own home hostage. Liam continued trashing equipment daily, claiming it was motivation for my compliance. Sophie live-streamed each session, growing her audience on my pain. Comments egged her on. Make her pay for being greedy. Family first always. She deserves this for hoarding success. But I wasn't just taking it. I began documenting everything. Every threat, every broken piece of gear, every false claim they made in my name. I recorded conversations and photographed the damage. That's when I contacted my cousin Noah, the family outcast who'd been disowned for refusing to enable their toxic behavior years ago. He knew exactly what I was facing. They did this to me too, Noah said, reviewing my evidence. Demanded cash, trashed my stuff when I refused, turned the family against me. Noah helped me safely retrieve my backup drives and critical files while Liam and Sophie were out. We discovered they'd been using my name to scam clients, promising recording services I'd never agreed to. You need to fight back, Noah urged. They only respond to consequences. I realized he was right. I spent nights at Noah's place, seemingly broken and plotting how to meet their demands. But I wasn't surrendering. I was preparing. While they thought I was defeated, I was building a case. Screenshots of Sophie's harassing posts, time-stamped photos of wrecked equipment, audio of Liam's threats and demands. What they didn't know was that my phone held direct lines to executives at every major label and streaming platform. 15 years in the industry gave me more than technical skills. I'd forged bonds with people who could crush careers with one call. Grammy-winning artists trusted my instincts. Label heads valued my input. Platform execs knew I only backed reliable people. My clients weren't just musicians. I'd worked with journalists who exposed industry scams, lawyers who tackled entertainment fraud, and even officials at construction boards who oversaw Liam's industry. My studio's hidden security cameras had captured everything in vivid detail. Liam shoving me, Sophie laughing as she filmed my pain, both threatening my livelihood. Noah helped me compile a thorough evidence portfolio while I played the part of a beaten-down sister around my siblings. They thought they were extorting a weakling who'd lucked into success. They had no clue they'd provoked someone with the power to dismantle their lives. Sometimes, the quietest people have the most powerful allies. Noah became my strategic ally, helping me gather evidence while my siblings reveled in their apparent triumph. He knew family secrets that exposed their long history of manipulation. They've done this before, Noah revealed. Remember when they coerced Uncle James into funding Liam's failed business? Or when Sophie tricked Grandma into paying for her non-existent acting career? Meanwhile, Liam and Sophie grew bolder. Their demands ballooned beyond cash and connections. They now wanted me to buy them homes, cars, and fund Sophie's influencer lifestyle entirely. Liam began advertising construction services online, using photos of my ruined studio, claiming he'd renovated spaces for music pros. Clients were calling him based on lies. Sophie quit her job, expecting my connections to make her famous overnight. She was already rehearsing speeches for awards she'd never earn. Do this the easy way or the hard way, Liam threatened during one of his daily intimidation visits. Sophie posted fake content showing her collaborating with major artists, using photos from my real studio sessions. She built her online persona on lies about my career. They planned a family intervention for the following weekend, inviting aunts, uncles, and cousins to witness my public capitulation. They intended to shame me into submission before everyone we knew. Once the family sees how selfish you've been, Sophie smirked, you'll either pay up or lose everyone forever. Noah helped me prepare while I maintained my defeated facade. We organized footage, documented fraud, and gathered statements from industry pros who'd seen their harassment. They think they've won, Noah said, reviewing our evidence. They're in for a shock. The intervention was my perfect stage. A room full of witnesses for their downfall. Have you ever reached the point where someone pushed you too far to forgive? The intervention took place in my parents' living room, filled with relatives who'd bought Liam and Sophie's lies about my greed. I walked in carrying what looked like signed contracts and bank forms, appearing ready to cave. Thank goodness she's finally being reasonable, my mom muttered too. My aunt. Liam stood, acting like a family leader. AITA has agreed to our fair terms. She's going to support family like family should. Sophie was live streaming, telling her followers her selfish sister was about to make amends. That's when I set down my papers and smiled. You want to talk about family loyalty? I said, opening my laptop. Let me show you what accountability looks like. I played the security footage. The room went quiet as they watched Liam destroy my studio, while Sophie filmed and laughed. The audio captured every threat, every demand, every violent moment. You can't prove anything. Liam stammered. This is private family business. Actually, I can prove everything, I replied calmly. And I have. I showed them confirmation emails. Liam, your contractor's license is under review for false advertising using my name. The board got a full report yesterday. Liam paled. Sophie, your social media accounts are being investigated for harassment and fraud. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube have detailed evidence of your smear campaigns and fake posts. Sophie stopped streaming, panic setting in. The family watched the footage, realizing they'd been fed lies about my selfishness. There's more, I said, opening another folder. Noah, care to share what you know about their financial past? Noah stood with his own evidence. Liam has scammed multiple business partners. Sophie's run cons on crowdfunding platforms and apps. They've exploited family for years. The contractor board was very interested in Liam's history of fraud, I added. And social platforms don't take kindly to harassment or impersonation. Liam tried to interrupt. This is absurd. We're family. You trashed my studio thinking I was powerless. I shot back. Now watch me dismantle everything you've built on lies. Sophie frantically tried deleting her posts, but I'd already sent screenshots to platform moderators. Best part. I smiled. Every industry contact I have now knows who why. You both are. Within 2 weeks, Liam's contractor license was revoked for fraudulent practices, with a history of misrepresentation dating back years. Sophie was banned from Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook for harassment and impersonation, killing her influencer aspirations. My industry connections ensured both were blacklisted from music and entertainment opportunities. Word travels fast in tight-knit circles, and everyone knew their true colors. The family apologized profusely once they saw the truth. My parents were horrified by the footage. Noah helped me rebuild my studio in a secure location, far from toxic relatives. My career soared as industry pros admired my handling of the situation. Liam and Sophie faced financial ruin as their scam-based income vanished. Their reputations were shattered. I set firm boundaries. No contact with my siblings, limited supervised contact with relatives who'd enabled them. Some mistake kindness for weakness until they learn the quiet ones have the strongest allies. Sometimes, the best way to handle bullies is to let their actions destroy them. If you've faced family trying to exploit your success, hit that like button for more stories of fighting back against toxic relatives. Comment with a time someone underestimated your strength or connections, and smash that subscribe button to support creators sharing real stories of empowerment. True loved ones don't steal from you or tear you down to lift themselves up.